Well, we're going to go to our passion play that we've talked about now. Megan, I'm a little bit sensitive about this item because I'm actually in the play.
Yeah, I hear that you have quite a, let's say, a high status-filled position.
Well, in my play career, my acting career, I've played bikies and I've played an entrepreneurial rip-off, but this time I put on a very white skivvy and I'm playing the part of Jesus in the Passion Play. This play is performed at St. Patrick's Church as part of the Good Friday celebrations. Here's our little touch of Easter for you. Why have a play in the middle of a church service on Good Friday?
Well, it's actually the words of the Passion of our Lord according to John, and it is a dramatic presentation of it, and it's in a type of theatre called Reader's Theatre, so that the actors actually stand in one position. Basically, once they take their position, they stand in one position, and the only movement really is their head and their eyes, and give the indication of the action that's taking place.
And when my rock glory comes, as all was meant to be.
Some people came to the Good Friday afternoon devotions because we were doing a different enactment of the play, of the Passion, and as a result of that they came back last year because it had such an impact.
Does it have an effect on you?
Yes. Goose pimply, emotive. It's right from the time the actors start walking in or the parade comes in, it's just really moving. It's very, very emotive and is probably the highlight of that part of the celebrations for Easter and the devotions.
I find it very, very emotional. Last year when we presented this play, I found that I was really part and parcel of the suffering of Christ, that I actually felt what he was feeling, that I was actually going through what he was feeling. That really was very, very strong. It almost brought me to tears.
Together, there was nothing secret about anything I said. So why do you question me? Question those who heard me when I spoke. It should be obvious they'll know what I said.
When he had said this, one of the high priests standing nearby struck Jesus on the face, saying,
"Isn't that any way to answer the high priest?"
The most dramatised part that really affects me is when Jesus was brought to Pilate, and the anguish and the loneliness he must have felt when he was rejected by his people.
As soon as the chief priests and the people saw him, they cried out, "Crucify him!
I find no case against him."
To me, that's just so emotional, the loneliness. Yeah.
Look at your king.
Away with him! Away with him!
What? Crucify him! Shall I crucify your king?
We have no king but Caesar!
What reactions have you seen from people who have been at the service?
Not so much reactions that I've seen as things that people have come up to me afterwards and talked about. I suppose the most important thing they talk about is the fact that it makes the scriptures come alive. It makes the presentation of that particular section of the gospel alive to them. It gives them vitality in a life that they didn't perhaps see before.
Are you saying this of your own, or have others been telling you about me?
I am not a Jew. It is your own people and the chief priests who have handed you over to me. What have you done?
My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then my subjects would be fighting to save me from being handed over to the Jews. As it is, my kingdom's not here.
So then, you are a king.
It's you who say that I'm a king. The reason I was born, the reason I came into the world, is to testify to the truth. Anyone committed to the truth hears my voice.
To me too, the way in which Pilate tries to wriggle out of the position that he finds himself, it becomes very real. He's obviously trying to please everybody, and he ends up, of course, I suppose, being party to the biggest injustice that's ever taken place in history.
Speaking for myself, I find no case against this man. Recall your custom whereby I release to you someone at Passover time. Do you want me to release to you the King of the Jews?
We want Barabbas, not this one.
How about the person of Jesus? It had any impact on you?
Yes, the calmness and the way in which he, even though he is apparently the person who was on trial, in reality you can sense that he really is in command of the whole situation, that there's a regalness about his demeanour and the way he behaves.
I am thirsty.
There was a jar there full of common wine. They stuck a sponge soaked in this wine on some hyssop and raised it to his lips. When Jesus took the wine, he said,
Now it is finished.
Then he bowed his head and delivered over his spirit.
The gentleness, the meekness which is characteristic of Jesus comes through, even in an adverse situation such as we see him in.
They raised Jesus there. The tomb was close at hand.
That's the Passion play that's performed on Good Friday, 3 o'clock at St Pat's Parish. Any observations?
Well, there was definitely a lot of passion in there. Yeah, really effective how you had the V and no movement.
It sort of draws people in, I suppose, instead of going out to them with a lot of action. But that's the play, and there's lots of other things coming up. But first of all, we've just